I have always found time in appreciating you, what makes Descendants and Zombies so special, and that's why I've loved having the opportunity to create so many wonderful videos that have gone on to resonate with far more people than I ever imagined possible, and have went on to touch the hearts of thousands of people who love these videos so much. Undeniably, there are people out there from all walks of life who love these videos so much in this channel. That's why they always subscribe here. Perhaps it has something to do in the way of how I've told this story and how I've been a believer in it for quite some time. I've never wanted to let go of the original cast. I've never wanted to say goodbye, but as the times change, we too as fans have to change with the times as a fandom. And we've very effectively done that. We've been able to kind of come into our own and proudly represent our favorite characters and the moments that made this story so special. These stories of these characters, because it was never one specific story that jumped out about us about Mal and Ben, or Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker's characters Red and Chloe. It was stories of all these individual characters who just wanted to let their stories be heard and seen by more people than ever before, to really be given a chance to be accepted by a niche, and to fall into a niche that would go on to become so incredibly supportive of who and what they loved. I remember how Ruby Rose Turner's character Bridget became my favorite character, along with everybody else's favorite character. And why do you think that was, guys? It was because of the appreciation she had for all of you. It was also because of her appreciation for life and her friendships, because she was always posting selfies of herself and Kylie and Malia together. There was something about seeing the three of them together that I often appreciated and I could never get enough of, and I know that for a fact that if I was friends with them, I would find time in appreciating it and encouraging it. Because you guys have drawn so much inspiration from them, and I don't think that deserves to be taken away from you. Having a chance of experiencing a future when it comes to Descendants 5 with Wonderland, no right by any critic should ever be taken to take that away from you. And I think that when we talk about Descendants and Zombies, we can make people feel closer together. We can make people feel like they've bonded over Descendants and Zombies, because that's obviously what's happened. You know, so many wonderful people have become friends because of this story, and how proudly it was represented, and how the stories were told. Because did you ever think 75 years ago, when Cinderella made its premiere theatrically on February 5th, 1950, that somebody like Malia Baker would have had the distinction and the profound honor of playing Cinderella and Prince Charming's daughter, which she did so effectively. She is gorgeous, by the way. She is a beautiful person, and she deserves more of a chance. And I think a lot of people have, come to terms with accepting this new cast and made them a part of their lives, and a very dedicated part at that. We've seen Descendants of Zombies come so far. Ever since the original cast, had the responsibility of bringing these stories to life, the new cast has really taken this franchise to places that we never imagined that it would ever get to. The Worlds Collide Tour, all these meet and greet opportunities, the premieres of so many wonderful movies and so many wonderful things that have happened for Descendants and Zombies. And now this new cast for Zombies 5 is going to take Zombies 5 to places that we never imagined possible also. So what we're setting ourselves up to be a part of is a really beautiful future, and I don't think that any critic deserves to have the right to take that away from you. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create something special, and I really wanted to give back to all of you, because you are what makes Descendants and Zombies so special, what's always has made Descendants and Zombies special for me. Because I never imagined that these videos would have went on to touch the hearts of thousands of people. If you were to ask me, I think it's all about how I've told this story, and how I've been a believer in this story, much like all of you, because I really was. I thought that the stories of Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella were beautifully told and proudly represented by whoever played these characters, because we've seen up to 200 adaptations of both classic stories. And I think that from the first moment that we saw this story come to life as part of Descendants' franchise, we took away a greater appreciation. We felt obviously more connected. We felt more appreciative of these moments, and we just wanted to be a part of them. We just wanted to share in them with so many incredible people who were just like us, who obviously felt the same way. I remember years ago when Disney would release all these princess dolls such as Belle and Ariel, and they were beautifully put together. Mattel did a beautiful job putting these dolls together. And when I saw the Descendants and Zombies dolls for the first time ever just a couple of years back, it brought me back to when Mattel was releasing all these beautiful Disney princess dolls like Belle and Ariel. And I remember how beautiful they were. You could get selective gowns with the dolls. You could get the Beast in a pack where he was either the Beast or Prince Adam. Many of you are probably too young to remember it, but Mattel did a fantastic job distributing Disney princess dolls and merch years ago. And Disney would pretty much capitalize on every opportunity they ever had. But I can never remember, as beautiful as those dolls were, I could never remember Disney releasing dolls as beautiful as what the Descendants and Zombies dolls would go on to become. So many wonderful people want them. So many people are very passionate about collecting them. They don't care how much they cost. All they know is they want them a part of their collection. They want to proudly put them on display. And you know something? I don't see anything wrong with that. So why would somebody come on here and choose to criticize the dolls, the quality of the merch, how it doesn't live up to a certain standard or specific criteria? I think that if you're passionate about collecting Descendants of Zombies dolls, following the fashion lines, you should be. And nobody has the right to take that away from you. And nobody has the right to discourage Kylie Control from everything she has happening for her. She has a lot happening for her. Her plate is really full. I don't even know how Kylie Control can juggle everything she has going on. She has a brand new album coming out sometime between now and the end of 2026. She has a brand new music video which is slated for release very soon. It's up and coming. It's called Carrie Bradshaw. They filmed it the other day. And the one thing that I appreciated about Kylie Control being on the set of the Carrie Bradshaw music video were that so many people came out in unison to support her, taking photos with her, that she was more than obliging to take with fans, having the chance to meet her. I think she really loves these opportunities. And that's something I've obviously noticed about Kylie, is just how appreciative she is of all these opportunities and the chances she has to meet all of you, because she never passes it up. Without a doubt, there's a lot of pressure that comes with being a celebrity on the level of Kylie Control, but I think that we can really find time in appreciating her. And what got me about the Perfect Princess music video always was how people pretty much criticized Kylie for being absent from the filming of that music video and not being featured in it, because of course she's the lead actress of the Descendants franchise currently right now. She's really the poster child of this franchise. I think we can give her the benefit of the doubt and still love her just as much as we did 2 years ago. I think what we're setting ourselves up here for are the introductions of all these beautiful characters that we have never seen before. Because that's the thing about fairy tale characters and fairy tale stories, are there may be 30 characters in the Descendants franchise, which actually there are over 30 plus characters, but there's always a chance to introduce more characters into the fold. There's always a chance to introduce yourself to new characters, and there's always a chance to become reintroduced, which is something I love doing for a lot of people, to stories that have been around for years, that have gone on to achieve so much recognition and rarity because of just how legendary the tales are. They are really tales as old as time, like Beauty and the Beast was always a tale that was old as time, because no matter how many times or how often you hear about these stories, you can't help but find time in appreciating just how old they are, how classic they are, and just how revered they have gone on to become such legendary stories, such as Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid. Of course, there are so many of them that I can go on for forever about. And I think Descendants of Zombies has proudly represented these stories in so many powerful ways. But, you know, as much as we move ahead into the future, I can't help but miss Ruby Rose Turner, because I've always believed her contributions are, you know, very short-lived with the Descendants franchise, almost too short-lived. And I've kept the door more widely open than ever before to see her kind of reemerge from out of this abyss. I think that Ruby's going to return from out of nowhere when the time, you know, arises and presents herself with the chance. I think I've always believed her story was never told and completed, and I may be just a sucker for Ruby because Ruby was just so genuinely sweet, but I've never wanted to say goodbye. I've never wanted to let go. And if there was one thing I could thank Ruby for, was obviously showing me just how much value there is in becoming a better person, becoming a stronger person, if anything, and showing kindness to people when they don't even really expect you to show kindness, because really you could be that one person who always makes a difference in somebody's life and shows them that little bit of extra kindness. Even without even trying, you can do that. I think there are people you see in school every day that you ride home with on the school bus, that you may walk home with, that you probably get to carry your books because you think it's the coolest thing in the world and the sweetest thing to ever do. I think that's really cool. Like when you can have the chance to have somebody carry your books home for you because they want to. I'm sure you guys have probably had a lot of situations where guys have approached you and asked you if you want them to carry your books. And I think that if you do have the chance to have them carry your books home, you should. Because it will give you a chance to get to know them for who they are and really appreciate them. Because you can always take appreciation away. The value of appreciating the friends that kind of just show up. Because the one thing about life is friends just kind of show up into our life, and it really helps us make sense of everything going on around us. It really helps us put everything into perspective, and that's something I've proudly done through creating these videos, is help you guys put everything into perspective, which is something I've loved doing for quite some time. Because the thing is about time is often so precious. What do you think was the most precious commodity in the Beauty and the Beast movie years ago? It was time, because eventually the last pebble on the rose would fall, and the beast would forever remain under this curse to remain a beast for forever. But because he was able to find true love in the heart of Belle, he was able to break the curse. It seemed impossible for him to do it. It seemed impossible for them to reach a mutual understanding, but they eventually did. And after she left him behind, she came back. She said, "Of course I came back, because I couldn't let them." And then she cried because she believed it was her fault. But that's what made that story so special. I know that story has received its fair share of criticism, as many Disney princess stories have received their fair share of criticism, but you can really find time in appreciating just how much they are valued and how much they are appreciated by far more people than perhaps ever given credit for, such as myself. Because I will openly admit to you, with an open heart and an open mind, with pure heart, that I've loved these stories about princesses for forever, and I've just loved being a part of them. You know, I thought the voices of the characters were beautifully done by Peggy O'Hare and Jodie Benson years ago, and I remember being incredibly supportive of just how beautiful Disney princesses were. Actually, a couple of days ago, I purchased over 15 Disney princess cardboard cutouts that you guys are going to see on my wall in a couple of weeks once I get them framed. They are beautifully collaborated, and I'm so proud. I feel so proud to have the Disney Princess cutouts as a part of this lineup coming up on this show as part of my YouTube backdrop, because I'm always making a consistent effort to try to bring this channel to life in so many incredible ways. The reality of my life is, I can never have enough time to appreciate how much you guys value Descendants of Zombies and what you did for me as the creator of this channel. Because of you, this YouTube channel has gone on to become everybody's favorite. This YouTube channel has amassed over 131,000 channel views, and that means more to me than words could ever say. I will never live long enough. The reality of it is, all of this is, I will never live long enough to say thank you to the huge response, the massive response, and sometimes very overwhelming response that this channel has received. This YouTube channel has gone on to resonate with far more people than I ever imagined possible. Perhaps it had something to do in the way that I could tell these stories and how much I believed in them and how much I was a believer in all of your guys' stories and your passions, more than probably you ever were. I've had the time of my life meeting all of you and talking about people like Freya, Kylie, some of your all-time favorites, and really giving them praise where I've obviously believed that praise was deserved. Because there are far too many people in this industry who do not deserve praise, who take their careers for granted, like Taylor Swift. And I think that there are way too many people who are kind of overshadowing the success of people like Kylie and Freya and Malia, who are often comparing themselves to people like Taylor. As far as I'm concerned, Kylie Control is a far more beautiful singer than Taylor Swift ever was. And I may be just saying that, but the thing is, I really have obviously believed that for quite some time. She is a very beautiful singer who is beyond talented, who shouldn't be giving other people credit. She should be giving herself credit and praise because she deserves to be in the position she's in. I see her putting so much work and dedication into her upcoming album. I see her putting so much work and dedication into everything she does for you. And I think we can offer her more of a chance and more praise. And maybe I'm just saying that because I was always the biggest fan and supporter of Kylie Control who ever existed, but I've obviously seen something special in her ability to bring her characters to life. I've seen something special in her ability to sing because in my eyes, she can really sing anything. And I think that there are a lot of characters from Descendants of Zombies who can do the exact same thing that can help bring this franchise to life in so many incredible ways. And so many emphatic ways at that. Whoever you are, from wherever you're hearing my voice this morning, I would just like to take this opportunity to say thank you for being with me from the very beginning, because this has always been perceived as an honor for me. It's just after 9 a.m. this morning, as you can see there on my studio clock in the backdrop of this YouTube video. That's the latest addition to this YouTube channel, a studio clock like you see in all these radio stations. I would love to say thank you so much to everybody who have been with me seemingly from the very first video that has ever been uploaded here, that was ever created here, because you guys obviously saw something special in every video that I would ever go on to create. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your lives to watch all of these videos and to have that greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies found within your heart. Somewhere in there, there's a greater appreciation to be had about Descendants of Zombies, and we are bringing it all the time through the creation of these videos. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, quite possibly of all time. And thank you so much for always and forever having watched these videos. It will forever and always remain my constant honor to bring these videos to life for so many wonderful people. And I will see you guys in the next video.